one of my rights and one of his duties.
Yeah, that brings us to an interesting point, actually, because I recall this being a point that women have expressed often in the Muslim world, that they don't have to work if they choose not to, and that it is the responsibility of the husband to provide. That sounds a little bit unfair to us as men, but anyway, that's the law of the Quran. We accept that. And I'd like you, Sheikh Shamsuddin, to...
Actually, if you wouldn't mind, I'd like to add to the first question that
go
you
ahead,
asked
go
the
ahead.
women. See, the family is a single unit, and every member of the family has to contribute to that unit functioning properly. And as for the family, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. There's work that needs to be done at home, and there's work that needs to be done to bring in money. And I see my wife, I'm the one in my family that works to bring in money. But I see the work that she does work. I want to acknowledge that. What she does is good work. Mm-hmm. And she does work that I'm incapable of doing, at least the way she does it. And she does work that is very, very important. Unfortunately, she doesn't get paid, as much as I do, but I bring in the money for the family. And as for the ruling of Islam, had it been that my wife could have brought in as much money as I do as a professional, I would love to have her work instead, bring in more money for the family, and I try to serve at home. But what I want to say is that all of us contribute to the family, the unit of the family, and her work, she works, and it's important work. She just does not work outside for money. She works at home, and that's work.
That's excellent. In fact, we have in New Zealand and many other societies in the world, we are learning that in modern society, women are campaigning for this right to have that acknowledgement that the work being done at home is actually work. And in socially based countries like New Zealand and many other countries, there is an effort, an initiative to get them to be paid for the work they're doing at home, which will be an interesting evolution of modern society. But coming back to that point we were talking about earlier, is it not unfair that the man has to provide for the women? Is there a clear Quranic injunction that says that?
Yeah, Allah says in Quran, الرجال قوامون على النساء بما فضل الله بعضهم على بعض. That men have to take care of women because of what Allah has given one and He hasn't given the other. So Allah has commanded men to take care of women. So if a woman chooses to work, if she chooses to work outside the home, assuming that the work at home is taken care of, someone does it, and then she works outside, then the money she earns is her money. But when I work outside the home, whatever money I earn is the family's money.
So it seems to be more lopsided towards favoring the women.
Not necessarily. Allah is the wise. Remember, Allah is the one who has created men. He has created women, and He knows how best society should function. And that's the essence of Islam. The essence of Islam is that Allah knows best. We believe Islam is from Allah. Allah knows best. So whatever He teaches us is the best for us, whether we understand how or not. And you find that when society deviate from the laws of Allah, they suffer as a result. Because we think we're so wise and we stay away from the teachings of the Creator, then we suffer as a result. So if the Creator said men take care of women, then men take care of women.
Thank you for that. In fact, in a previous program, we talked about Islam, the meaning of the word Islam and Muslim, coming from the common root word that means peace, or coming to peace through submission to the will of God. And I think what you're saying there really corresponds with that. We submit to that commandment in the Quran, even though it might seem unfair. We know that Allah, the Creator, is the all-knowing, the all-wise. I have so many other questions. One of them that you just mentioned, one of the things that I realized is that as we're talking about the rights of women and men and the roles of men and women, there are a lot of practices in Islam, like, for example, at the masajid, the mosques, the place of prayer. There is a statement I've heard that is a hadith, correct me if I'm wrong in this, that women get the benefit of prayer in Jamaat. Jamaat is congregational prayer. Even without having to attend the masjid. Again, it seems like the man has to go. It's a regulated act that prayer at the masjid in congregation is compulsory for the man, but not compulsory for the women. I would like to firstly ask you if that is the case, and following that, if the sisters could please comment on how they feel about it and whether you attend the masjid or whether you have the freedom to attend the masjid and whether you can partake in activities at the masjid as well. Starting with you, Shamsuddin.
Yeah, it is the teachings of Islam. The Prophet, peace and blessings of Allah be upon him, said that for a woman to pray at home, it's better for her. And for a man to pray in the masjid in congregation, it's better for him. But you need to understand that that's in a time when men used to bring home Islam back to the women. Unfortunately, we live in a time now when men don't do that. And I personally think, especially in this modern day in America, it's better for women to go to the masjid so that they can learn their deen. Unfortunately, when they come to the masjid, the way our masjid function, and you alluded to it, is women don't get their rights. Women are not included in the discussions. They're not able to hear the khutbahs. They're not able to take part in the classes the way they should. I personally think that if women cover themselves the way Allah has commanded them to cover themselves, then they have done what they have to do. The rest of us have to lower our gazes and we have to respect them, and we can all be in the masjid like the Prophet ﷺ taught us, the women at the back and the men in front,
men too
and
must
take part.
cover themselves.
Men cover themselves, but not to the extent that Allah has commanded women. Women can only show the face and the hands, and to some opinions the feet. But men can show everything except from the navel to the knee, except it's advised you cover from the shoulder to the knee.
Can a man go in with short trousers?
He can. If it covers from his navel to his knee, theoretically it's acceptable, except that there is something in Islam that talks about the culture, or what's called the urf, the traditions of the people. And the tradition or the practices in America, it's just not polite to go in a public place. It's just not nice, exposed from your navel up. Even though it's okay Islamically, the man is not considered as naked. But I would feel naked. I mean, if I go outside into the masjid from my navel to knee, even though I know it's acceptable Islamically, I feel naked. It's just not proper.
But I've been told that even if you have a short trouser, if it's above your knee, you're not.
It's not acceptable Islamically. No, the salah is not acceptable. The man must cover, and that's a different discussion. But the man must cover from the knee to the navel. Must be covered for the salah to be acceptable.
Okay, I'd like to move on to asking the sisters about that. Starting with Sister Safiya.
I think that there's wisdom in not requiring women to attend the masjid as much, but there are hadith that say that if a woman wants to go, she should not be prevented. So women with the demands of small children oftentimes find it very difficult, if not impossible, to attend the masjid regularly. But once our children get older, we can go as much as our schedules allow. We can pray in the masjid, and I haven't found that I was restricted from attending meetings that I wanted to attend. So for me, I'm not restricted. I mean, in terms of if I have the time and the ability to go, I'm able to go. And I don't find a necessarily bad atmosphere in the masjid. It's, it's male-centered, but the men have their role and women have their role. At the same time, I personally, since I'm a seeker of knowledge, I will go there if I want to get this, or I will get it from books, or I will get it from those that I know. And I think a lot is on the individual as well. How much do you want to seek for those things?
Thank you for that. Sister Saida, would you like to add to that? Do you have the freedom to attend the masjid, and do you partake equally at the masjid?
I do have the freedom to go. I don't go that much, mainly because I'm working during the day, and I participate in a lot of Islamic activities outside the masjid. There have been times, however, that I have wished that there were more classes and things available, organized activities at the masjid to attend, things for women specifically. But that's all right. I'm fulfilled with my other activities. But yes, I'm absolutely free to go whenever I want to.
What about organizing? You just mentioned, Sister Munira. Are you able to, as Muslim women, organize whatever you wanted to have things at the masjid, which allows you to participate? We've run out of time, so I'll just give you 10 seconds to answer that.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know. Usually we organize things amongst ourselves and do it in our houses, because there's lots of times small children, and it's just easier that way. But I think we could work within the masjid if we chose to, if we wanted to. I haven't run up against any problems in that regard.
Well, thank you very much, and I thank you all for participating in this forum with us and sharing your thoughts and ideas on Islam and the role of Muslim women. I appreciate that we are outnumbered in this program, and I think we did provide some kind of a balanced view, and I hope we get a chance to do this again.